So, what can I say? Hanging man that formed yesterday doesn't look very promising at the moment. I think the US markets look a little bit promising on the daily than what the DAX does. But nevertheless, let's just see if there is anything here. So, one thing that concerns me is we've got two hanging men here. And typically, probably end up with a third one in typical DAX fashion. So, if I do this, you'll see here we get these indecision clusters at turning points. There's one, and then for the other one, I really got to zoom in. You see that up there, we had 1, 2, 3, pretty much 3 days of absolutely no trading happening at all before this massive fall. So it's kind of it's a pattern that I'm picking up quite often on the DAX. But anyway, it's not quite the same just yet, but that could potentially be a hanging man. Let me just see. I know futures are down at the moment. I just want to see whether they've recovered anything. Okay, not too bad. It's recovered 0.13 down, so it's pretty much flat. Okay, let's get into it. So, I haven't looked at the DAX this morning. I don't like that. Range bar, pin bar. Indecision, barbed wire. Nothing really there on the 3 hour that I see. What I can say is we should still be looking for longs because we have had this breakout retest, which is right there. So they probably should have offered a buying opportunity. To be honest with you, I wasn't focused on the DAX. Yeah, we had that was almost a buying opportunity. That was a buying opportunity there. But just look at that structure. Look at these tails to the upside. Look at the red bars, tails to the downside. I mean, that's pretty much going nowhere. So I think the way we need to look at this is, where's my channel there? So we have a channel there, and we have a channel here. Okay, I'm not being precise, but you get the picture. So rally up, channel. Rally up, gap up, channel. What's the next logical sequence in this pattern? Rally up, channel. So I think that's pretty much the structure that I can see. To be honest with you, looking at the S&P, there is probably better opportunities to buy into the S&P at the moment and get some profit out of it than there are right here in the DAX. But saying that, the DAX will probably follow the S&P anyway. So, yeah, yesterday's price action just doesn't fill me with much joy. I don't think this is something that I really want to be flirting with. If anything, I'd need to come down to the 15-minute. That looks a little bit better. Okay, let me just get rid of the noise. And if we basically, so there's two things we can do here. So the first one is to draw that trend line there, which is a breakout, right? Second one to do is to get the trend lines across there, which would also be a breakout. Okay, so we've got a breakout here on the 15 minutes. I think maybe the structure here is 15-minute trades. Your stop area right now is going to be below this level of support here, which is 12,687. What you're looking for is a break of that fractal, which has happened. So now I want to see a retest. So I want to see an open, I want to see a retest. It may drop down to the bottom of this area to try and form a range as well, and then start bouncing. Probably give you a decent opportunity to get long. So if we get a retest here at 12,725, that would be a long with a stop below 12,687. Now, I want to see what this risk to reward is. That's not too bad. That's a 50-point stop loss. That's acceptable. If we do get down to the bottom here and we start bouncing and start creating a new high, that would be another opportunity for the long, but your stop is going to be below the swing low here. Okay, so just be wary. There's this massive gap here which they have tried to close. If that failure of that is going to be a break above each one of these swing highs. Okay, so yeah, that's kind of the only trade that I see, and that's off the 15 minutes. So bear in mind, 15 minutes, then you need to be looking at levels on sort of an hour. Okay, don't try and look for daily levels and 8-hour levels and 4-hour levels, because that's not going to help you. Okay, so and you see we do have this structure right here. which is probably what you'd be looking for a target area, which is 12,628 would be your target area. Okay, so yes, I think for me the DAX probably worth keeping open, but keep it open on a lower time frame. Keep it open on a 15-minute chart, and play it off the 15-minute. Don't try and enter off the 15 and then play it off the 4-hour. That's just going to frustrate you and burn you. So take your profits based on the levels, and you can see this level was tagged as well yesterday. So 12,628 was definitely tagged. So pretty much the high of yesterday is definitely your first target. A breakthrough of that and a retest. And pretty much what I'm going to say to you is you should all know if you've been following me. As soon as we break through this area here, 12,774 and retest, I mean, what you can do is if you get an opportunity to get in down here and then get your stop to entry, and then it breaks through the next level, come back and retests here and starts bouncing, add to your position, move your stop up below that swing low. You'll be risking a little bit of cash, but you should be at a break even anyway. And then same up here, you get through this level, come back, retest and start bouncing, take another position there and move your stop up here. Your actual risk should be less than sort of 0.5% of your capital while you're doing this. But that way you're going to accumulate a pretty large position that you wouldn't have been able to do down here, and anticipating the break of this area heading up higher. Okay, that's just kind of the way I would do this on the 15 minutes at the moment. And as soon as we see some structure forming on the hour, you would have been in. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. You don't lose. You more than likely will be break even or just above break even. Okay, all you need to remember is keep your stops really tight, and you trail those stops up with every position you add. So it's pointless adding on if you were long down here and you've got the breakout here, you move your stop to entry immediately. So that is covered. Wait for the pullback onto the structure, start bouncing like this, add here, move my stop just below the structure. So now what I do is my first trade is in profit for this amount, and my second trade is in a loss for whatever the stop is. Okay, if a stop gets triggered, you should have a little bit of profit there. And so you continue doing that until you get through. Okay, and the best way, if you're not used to doing that kind of stuff, do it with a very small position size, and you just keep adding until you get the hang of it, and moving your stop up. So just really managing your trade effectively. You can get into a position where you've got a massive position on for break even, pretty much, and you get a breakout. Okay. Anyway, guys, that's it for me today. I hope it helps. Hope it had some value to you. If it does, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribe, put the notifications on. We do this every morning and once a week. And hopefully it gets value. If you've got any questions, drop them in the comments, and I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as I have time. Anyway, hope that helps you all, and stay safe. Keep those stops tight. I will catch you later. Cheers for now.